Hello again, and welcome back to another sound design tutorial. Today we're going to look at part 2 of our handgun noise that we made last time. Last time we just looked at the initial bang and the initial attack of the sound, but now we're going to look at more at the tail and how we create different sounds to suit different environments. So as you can see here, I've got 3 examples of different environments. I've just taken the bang we made last time and I've loaded it up 3 times. Let's have a quick listen to the bang without any tails, just to see what we got from last time and recap. So it's sounding pretty good, not too bad. But we want to make this sort of louder, feel a bit more powerful, and like I said earlier, suit any environment. So as you can see, I've got 3 different environments. I've got a street, a small room, and a canyon. I'm going to start with the street first, so let's have a listen to the sound we've got here. So quite a long moving sound. So this one was quite easy to get. I've just loaded up Logic, I've just sent it to a bus, and just used this bright staircase, I've forgotten the word, preset in the Space Designer. And it worked quite well because in a street, if you fired a gun in the street or made any sort of loud noise in the street, you'd have all these sort of quick delays as the sound sort of bounces off walls and, you know, moves around the streets. So this one worked quite well in that sense. You want to kind of like last time, you want to bring out the mids to mid lows. Those are the kind of sounds you're gonna hear if you hear a big bang in the street, sort of 500 hertz to 1 kilohertz. If I quickly dip it out, then put it back in again, oh, you can notice a big difference. So yeah, that's the street noise, and again, all I did there was just send the bang to a bus and put some reverb on. Simple, right? So next, we're going to look at the small room. So this I've utilised some delays for. Let's have a listen with and without first. So now let's have a listen with. So this is obviously quite a smaller sound, but works quite well, I feel. It brings a lot of low end, a lot of impact, and gives you a small sense of space. So what I've done is I took the bang and I sent it to a bus, and again I've just used a small reverb. This time I've used the garage preset and just done a bit of adjusting to it. I didn't want it to go on too long. But what I've then done is I've sent the bang to a separate bus and I've added a tape delay, and this is just to sort of, I guess, lengthen the sound a bit, but to make it sound like the sound's bounced off a wall and you've heard it straight away. So if we listen to it without the reverb and we just listen with the delay, and now without the reverb and with the delay, with the reverb and without the delay, and all together, it just sort of gives another dimension to the sound, a bit more detail, I suppose. If you look on the delay bus, you'll notice that I've sent that straight to the reverb bus, and I guess so that's because you'd expect to hear that. You wouldn't really expect to hear the echo of the sound dry. You'd expect to hear it with the reverb from the room, but you know, you can adjust these in any way you like. Have a fiddle around. Maybe you prefer it coming straight sent to the stereo output. So last one we've got here is the canyon. Now this is quite an interesting one. So again, I've utilised the idea of using a reverb bus and delays. This time I've used the echo delay as opposed to last time where I used the tape delay. But this time I've used 2 of them. And this is because obviously in a canyon, you're going to get a lot of bounces of sound. And the sound's going to be coming at you. Oh, sorry about that bike. The sound's going to be coming at you from a lot of different angles and positions. So let's have a listen without any effects. Now let's have a listen with just the reverb. Now notice with this one, as opposed to the street and the small room, the reverb I've chosen here it focuses a lot on the mid-highs to higher frequencies. And in the canyon, you'd sort of notice this. You'd sort of notice, obviously, you'd get your low frequencies from the initial bang, but the high frequencies are going to be the ones that are bouncing around. So that's kind of what I've aimed for here. And as you can see, preset I've used is the Valley Forest. And not done too much editing to it. I've just turned it all the way up. I gave it a bit of pre-delay actually, just to extend the sound a bit again, make it sound like it's travelled. So what I did then is I took some more buses and I added some delays. Let's have a look at the echo here. In fact, let's have a listen to that echo without the reverb. So now you can sort of hear that detail of where the sound's bouncing around different areas. With the street reverb, we kind of got that naturally just from the reverb, but with the canyon, the reverb gave us the kind of, sonically, it gave us what we wanted, but it needed to move around a bit more. So that's why I've added these extra delay buses in. I've also used this filter. Again, I've just loaded the preset. I've adjusted it a little bit. But this is just to make the sound, again, feel like it's moving. As you can see on the EQ, I've sort of just really heavily just focused on the mids. And what this filter does is it just sort of opens up and closes the auto filters a bit. And again, this just gives it another effect. Makes it sound like it's moving. If I turn that off, we can have a listen. And with, just a sort of personal preference of mine. Tremolo again, that's another one. You'd expect the sound not to be coming from directly in front of you, but you'd expect it to be coming from the left, the right, the back, the front. So tremolo just gives it another more sense of movement. And again, you can adjust these parameters however you want. This is just what I've gone for. Let's have a listen without. And with. There we go. And as you can see, I've sort of done that twice. So bus 2 and bus 3 here, they both go to bus 1, which is our reverb. And then all that does is make it sound like this, not just, I suppose, so that the sound's not bouncing off one thing at a time. So it's bouncing off multiple different, mountains or hills or, depending on where you are. I mean, I've labelled this canyon, but this could be really for sort of any outdoor scenario. If you imagine films where you've got maybe a sniper who's trying to take out someone from, through a field or something, you get these sort of long, high-end delays, and that's kind of what I aim for here. So yeah, I think that's about it. That's all I did really. I think I did a bit of compression on the small room reverb and delays, just so you can hear them a bit more, because obviously the sound doesn't last for very long. But other than that, that's all I've done really. So let's have one last listen. So here's the street sound. The small room. And last but not least, the canyon. Cool, there we go. So thanks again for watching. I'll try and keep these tutorials coming. Yeah, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.